Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing great. I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you so very much. The Culture Crime Fighters, we're here. We're on the air. Vidge has got his computer again, so it's
Sort of,
big.
yeah.
It's a big
Yeah.
old day. How's it going, my friend?
It's going pretty good. Vigilante Williamson here on the 60th, 9 away from glory episode. The Culture Crime Fighters. You still hear the echo. I don't have soundproofing and all that stuff up.
That's okay. It doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah.
What's
you
going
get a
on, my
haircut?
friend?
Or,
I did.
yeah.
I did. I got a haircut earlier today. Because it's like I've been growing it back out, and it looks so stupid. Like it was just, you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, just like a big poof. Like this girl at work called me a chia pet, and I was like, God damn it! Like it just, not a mean insult, but I was like, I know this looks dumb. So I was like, yeah, I want to at least just cut around the ears, right? So I go to get the haircut today, and it's this place called like King's Barber Studio or whatever. And it's like one of those kind of like vaguely hip hoppy spots,
Vaguely hip hoppy. What's
Yeah, like where they do like the fades, you know what I mean, like the kind of urban look.
So it was a black barber.
No, I mean,
Oh,
no,
it's not.
my God, but it's like it has that vibe. You know what do you know what I
So
mean?
like, I just only have gone to like just black barbers. So I don't know what I really don't. This is a cultural thing.
Well, it's there's all different types of spots. There's like, salons for like chicks and gay guys, and there's like, some old Italian guy who's been cutting hair for 80 years, and then there's just like super cuts. And then there's like this kind of like type of spot that's just got like they're playing hip hop, you know what I mean? Like the girl barber there had like on Kanye's shoes, like it just had like a vaguely hip hop vibe, and it's like lots of fades and sharp trims on the beard and stuff like that. It's like, like I don't know how else to describe it. It's like hip hop culture. It's like Drake and shit like that,
I see.
Anyway,
See, I'm learning because I didn't know these places existed. Because barbershops
Really?
really, yeah. Because like the black barber shop is just the black barber shop is just the black barber shop. Like I've gone to different barbers, different states, and it's just kind of the same thing. It's just a couple of guys in there, maybe an older guy. There's hip hop there, but it's not like this vaguely hip hop barber shop where like maybe there's one white barber, but that's about it. And it's
it's
just
just got
usually
like an urban vibe. Maybe it is a black barber, but it's not like, I don't know. They're not.
what this sounds like is like an urban barber for white people. Like,
Kind of, but I mean, there's black people in there too. Like it wasn't that racial. It was more cultural.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen places like this. Like it'll be like Styles with a Z or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anyway, so I mean, they do a great job. Like I love the way they cut up my beard. Like whenever I go in there, they shave it. It looks so cool. But what's that?
It looks clean.
Thank you. The clean, that's like maybe it's just a black barber. Maybe it's just a version of a black barber shop. I don't know. Anyway, so I go in there and I was just saying like, look, my hair's just I'm growing it out. Like I just need like a kind of like an adjustment, just sort of like, and he's like, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, you're the barber, man. Like I'm just telling you what I want. Like I'm just growing out my hair and I don't want it to look so stupid. Can you help me with that?
Yeah.
And he's dropping all these like terms on me. And he's just like, well, do you want like a 2 fade, 1 fade? You want this? You want that? You want a hairline in the back? I'm like, I don't know what any of that means. I just want it to not look stupid. Can you help me with that problem?
There you go.
But yeah, I guess they did. So I feel like I look kind of like a cop, but a cop who likes Drake.
Oh, so a bad cop. Oh, no disrespect to Drake. He didn't do anything to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was just an example.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got
Listens to K. What was the guy named? K Flock. K Flock and
something like that.
what was
K
it?
Flock,
K Flock
Flip a
and
Flare.
Cardi B.
I don't know.
It was whatever it was.
Whatever it was, indeed. Jake D threw a $15 super chat. Hail, Jake D. What's going on, my man? He says, hey, buddy, here's some cheddar to get some clippers so you stop wasting money on a barber. Thank you, Jake, for $15. when I had the mohawk, I would do that myself, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like it would go kind of like this, like because I can't see the back of my head. I can't. Do you cut your own hair, Jake?
Yeah, Jake, do you? I need a haircut because I haven't really got it. I've just been like buzzing my hair every like 4 months, and I'm like, I need to stop doing this. It's just like with no interest, just toss a hat on. Don't really work around people. Just not giving a fuck, and I gotta stop that.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
mean,
get it
I got
braided or cut it.
I got bored with the look. Honestly, I just got bored with just having like the bald head, and I don't know. You know, I kind of feel like when you do that, that's sort of like this is the only look I can do.
Yeah,
You know, like I'm balding. I just got to lean into it, grow the beard, make myself look cool. But that wasn't my only option.
yeah. Looks clean. Looks clean.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother. How you been? What's been going on with you?
Not much. Not much. Just trying to survive. This crazy world, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah? Are you watching anything?
I have not been watching anything except NBA playoffs and highlights of the playoffs.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Cool. I have not.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
watch basketball.
You know, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Shout out to Kevin Durant who got swept. That's hilarious. Um, good for him. I'm glad leaving a team that just won championships every year it worked out for him.
Where did he go?
He went to Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving,
Okay.
who couldn't play half the year because of his.
Oh, because of COVID.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that kind of costed him. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess you gamble with it, and it didn't pay off for him.
Yeah.
I'm still watching that Outer Range show, and oh, I'm hooked, bro.
Really, I've heard other people talk about it.
Hooked. Like I watched the 2 episodes like over the weekend because I guess they're dropping 2 episodes a week is what it looks like.
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah, I think that is smart. You know, like 1 episode a week is smart too, but it makes sense to like do 2 like that, so you kind of get a little bit of that binge satisfaction, but you know, you know, not the whole thing at once. So the talk about it grows, like it's happening right now, bro. When it was over, I was like, oh, I want more. Like it's so good. And yeah, and the dialogue is great. Like there was this one scene, I can't, there'd be no way to provide all the context of what makes sense, but he just like grabs this big fat guy and like slams his hands down on this bag of Fritos. And he goes, I'll show you a hole so deep and dark, you'll never come out of it, or something like that. And he goes, you know what's in that hole? We know what's not in that hole. And he goes, Fritos? There are no Fritos in that hole, Carl. And it's just such a funny line. There are no Fritos in that hole, Carl.
That's what she said. What platform is it on?
Amazon.
Amazon. Okay, that means I have
Primo.
it because everyone has Amazon Prime pretty much.
That's good. Oh, Ascension Dildo started watching it too.
Oh, Essential Dildo approved. He's the only culture critic I listen to now. Essential Dildo. He doesn't approve it. I don't listen to it. I don't pay attention.
He's your source for what to watch.
What to watch, what to listen to. You know, all of YouTube has been distilled to the the whims of this Croatian psychopath we know as Essential Dildo.
Pirate Bay. Pirate Bay. Is that your girlfriend who's a pirate? Pirate Bay. Get it? Yeah, but I've been thrilled to have found something to actually enjoy and look forward to. It's really nice.
Yeah. I keep hearing there's good stuff out there. Like everyone said Yellowstone's good, and then you check that out as well.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I haven't. I don't know. It seems like a whole thing to get Paramount Plus.
Yeah. You might have to, to go the same route as me talked about in the chat. But honestly, I don't even like doing that anymore. Like going to pirate stuff. Especially with all the luck I have with computers. I don't like fucking my computer up. Or the protection of fucking my computer up.
And I got like an email from my cable provider back in LA because I torrented like an episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And they sent me like, if you don't stop this, we're gonna shut your internet down. And I was like, I don't like this feeling. Yeah.
That's pretty intense, but Jeesh.
I know. And I was like, doesn't seem worth it to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just stopped doing that. But I mean,
Yeah, so I just stopped doing that. But I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems like a whole thing to get Paramount Plus.
yeah. 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 Yeah.
I just stopped doing that. But I mean, Yeah, I don't know. I don't even. I mean,
Still
whatever.
seems like an intense reaction to someone pirated an episode of Rick and Morty in L.A. That was the most dangerous thing that happened in L.A. that day. Was you
Again,
pirating an episode of Rick and Morty?
it's illegal. Costing the big people money.
But poor, what was it, Turner who owns that? They lost out on whatever money from your pirating that episode. You must pay. Criminals must pay.
It's their prerogative, I guess. I don't know. That's why I didn't do it. I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need this smoke.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, so watching Outer Range has like made me feel good. The other thing that has made me feel really good recently is free speech is back, baby.
Yeah. Sam, the Whitfield Report even commented in the chat that you were, what did you say, orgasmically happy? You're pretty happy in your Twitter Elon video.
I was genuinely happy because I remember I woke up that morning, and I like opened up, heard it was gonna happen. People were like, oh, this is happening, blah blah blah. And I was all right, cool. So I go to work, and when I leave work, I open my phone, and my entire feed is just full of just like base comments, just like a flood of just like, and they were so funny, like just hilarious, like one after the other. And like Sarah Gonzalez, man, what a badass. Just saying all those just facts. It was so great. Oh my God. It was really fun. So I was very happy.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was on air or not, but when we did the Patreon episode yesterday, we talked a little bit about it.
What's your thought?
My thought, I still have the blind spot of Twitter, but I do think it's still a victory if you're counting those sort of things. Not saying Elon, Elon's already made money off of his investment. If more people are going back, like the second one user goes back to use Twitter, he's already made more on his investment. So there's that. But I gotta say this is a good thing. Twitter is a leftist shithole, and for for that to be now is, we'll see. You got to give it a little bit of time. But it looks to be that's the case, that it was and is now going to be a little bit more open of a platform. That's a good thing. Not a good thing for the alt tech crowd who was hoping, the Gabs and the Odyssey is a YouTube thing. What was the other one that was on?
Getter. Minds.
Yeah. Getter, all that stuff. This, they're gonna be hurt by this because now there's no draw. But I think
was there really ever a draw? I mean, the only draw I feel like that was to those platforms was people who were like, I can't say that Trump had the election stolen, so I'm going to get her.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about, but it's like you go there and it's like tumbleweeds, man. Like, all right, what am I? It's like Odyssey. You're like, no one's here.
Yeah, there was a couple other ones. I think I even joined. Was it MeWe?
Parlor.
Parlor. I remember
Frank Social.
I'm this many days old when I heard of Frank Social.
Progressives saying they're going to get her. That's funny.
Awesome.
That's hilarious. Central Dildo said the conservatives are pretty cringe too. I didn't think so. I thought the conservatives, man, were just like hit after hit. I loved it. I thought it was so funny. Just all these things like that were, like I said in my video, were like the black speech. Like you cannot say these things in public.
No. Here's what I will
like orcish is what I mean.
Oh, geez. Orc,
like from Lord of the Rings, the black speech. No, you're not supposed to say it out loud. Anyway.
Well, no, because ironically enough, I thought of when you said black speech. You know how they say orcs are like black people. That's where my mind went.
Racist.
Yeah, that's the whole point. But back to what we're talking about. So one thing that is kind of, I don't know if cringe is the right word, but there is something to be said about like everyone is celebrating getting something they should have never lost in the first place. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember exactly every tweet you were talking about the other day, but it's like 99% of that shouldn't have ever been unspeakable language, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why it's a flood of all these things, is because it's just like these are things that are just normal statements They're not politically motivated. Only
And
women can menstruate. But that it was at the time, and still is a controversial thing to say.
and I guess that's my point. There still is that element of this shouldn't even be controversial. This shouldn't even be a big deal. It is. I'm not denying that it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying
okay.
there is a like elephant stump element. Like what I mean is like how they train an elephant to not realize that he can move the stump because when he's younger he can't move it, and then as he gets older, he just thinks that he can't move it. So my thought is like, I don't know, like as I'm listen, I like I said, I count this as a victory. I count this as a win. I'm happy for the people that care about this stuff, but we had really no choice, but we ended up accepting a climate of like where this did become a big deal. Does that make sense? Like it shouldn't have.
Kind of. But what do you mean accepted it? I don't think anyone accepted it. I think they were forced into it.
Yeah, I mean, people. Well, I guess we just talked about all those alt platforms. Even though there was tumbleweeds, there never was a push outside of Parler to really do anything different. It was just like, let's still wait on this platform and wait on these major platforms to change. And I get it,
But the major platform matters. Like it's important. I think people try to minimize it because they don't like it or they don't care about it. It's like, yeah, maybe you don't, but all the influential people do. So
I'm not
it matters.
it doesn't matter perspective, but there was never a push to like everyone just went. We did it too. We just all went to the cold words. We all went to this, and there were never a unified, organized pushback. If Elon doesn't buy Twitter, we're still dealing with this no speech.
Because it's no one's a billionaire. We don't have this power to like influence culture like that. Like that's why this is such a huge deal. Like, because this was just a fucking atom bomb in their plan. Like that you can't. A collection of conservatives isn't going to get Twitter back. That's never going to happen. They got rid of the fucking president of the United States. It was like there's no one more powerful. They got rid of him off of Twitter. And so what are you supposed to do? What kind of pushback is there that you could organize?
The pushback was to go to a different platform and actually make it relevant, and no one did that.
How do you do that? How do you manufacture a platform?
I'm not saying I know the answer to, but that is because he still has a board, he still has people to answer to. What happens if all this free speech gets reverted in a few months?
He doesn't have a board. It's going to be a private company.
It's going to be a completely private company with just him.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, I mean, what happens if he just changes his mind because it's not at the whims of him? He's like, you know what? Fuck free speech.
Hey, I don't know. What if a meteor hits Elon and kills him? And I don't know about the what ifs. All I know is that right now this is awesome.
Yeah, it is. Another nine is awesome, but there is an element that is like everyone's celebrating being able to say things they should have already been able to say, and there is still, I guess, the alternative. People have talked about like an alternative economy or like an alternative, not just when it comes to media, not just when it comes to social media, but just stuff in general. Like, okay, let's do our own thing. I mean, shit, they canceled people's bank accounts, people's GoFundMe's, all sorts of shit for being off brand or narrative. But it's I don't feel like, I guess that's my thought is, there were a lot of people who talked a good game about that and really did nothing, and are still just waiting on, I hope Elon Musk buys it. You know what I mean? Hope is not a strategy. So there was, I guess that's what my point is. There was really no strategy to change this ever. If Elon doesn't buy this, yes, I'm not saying don't celebrate it.
Well, what could there be? What could there have been? Let's just say that was your goal in life, Fish. Like, what could you do? How exactly could you execute that?
I would say there were enough social media, and enough people tried to like, all right, I have a Minds, but no one really tried to make Minds popular. No one did anything. And I'm not saying they should have, but I'm just saying I don't care about this conversation. I do care, you know what I mean? But I'm not really a social media guy. I'm not the mover and shaker and thought provoker. I'm looking at it kind of as an outsider looking in. Yeah, obviously I comment, I do YouTube. But I'm saying, okay, if what you cared about was free speech, what did you do to actually push it forward? You know what I mean? And could all the creators that existed in the quote unquote conservative or non-leftist space have done a better job of saying, hey, we're picking platform A and we're going to push everybody towards platform A.
Yeah, but
and
they
try to
do
make
that, and then it just becomes a conservative echo chamber that's completely irrelevant. So it's like, big deal. They effectively got rid of you. Way to go. You know, it's like now they could just write off the entire platform instead of individual creators that share their platform, right?
Which
Like,
is
there's something about popularity. There's something about the fact that it's the place to go. What are we doing here? We're on YouTube still, right? Okay, Vidge, we believe in this. Let's go. We'll only do Odyssey now, right? It's not that easy.
I know it's not, but I mean, I'm not celebrating the Twitter thing. I'm saying, oh, that's nice, thumbs up. You know,
I
cool
am
beans.
celebrating. I'm definitely celebrating because it's a huge victory for the scope of conversation, like what can and can't be said on a massive platform. That's a big deal. Like, we act like, oh, it's just Twitter. Twitter's not real life. Twitter is absolutely real life. You get canceled on Twitter. What happens? What happens when you get kicked off Twitter, right? They find your employer. They find, you know what I mean? Like, you talk about the bank accounts.
Yeah.
It does matter. So now that, like, the next time some, like, crazy leftist tries to take down Tucker Carlson, a bunch of other people can take them down first. They can, like, you know, not necessarily in their methods, but can attack them, refute their facts, insult them, all this stuff. Before, they had, like, this magic blue bubble around them, and that couldn't happen. Now it can. And I think that it's going to impact the culture tremendously.
I hope I kind of think so too, and I hope that's correct. But I mean, the plan of I get that you're 100% right. It's not easy to just overnight mobilize and get any alternative platform, but I still think that now that seemingly the end for an alternative platform exists, there's still an issue there. Like, I guess that this is a band-aid. You know, there's still an issue that isn't going to be corrected just because this happened.
I mean, this did not save the world, no. But
I'm
it's
not
a
saying-
big
I'm not
step in
saying,
the right
you know,
direction.
It is a step in the right direction, but at the end of the day, it's just people depending and hoping billionaire corporations go the way they go the way they want them to, and it's not
They're
always going to work.
powerful, man. We can't. I don't know. I fail to see your point. I fail to see, like, what's a viable alternative. I think, what do we do? I mean, we're essentially a pirate ship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, I love doing this show. I don't know how much impact we have. And it's like we have this whole fandom menace, right? We like rally behind Gary and all these people, right? And it's like Obi-Wan's show's coming out. It didn't stop that. Like, we can't just, if it's not exactly what we want, well, it's not good. It's like, I don't know what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying if this conversation, because at first, again, the Twitter conversation is something I have a element of blindness, but I guess is if having free speech on the internet is important to you, then is your goal just to hope Elon Musk buys it?
I don't think anyone saw this coming, dude. I don't think this was like the plan of conservatives for a while.
Because there was none. That's what I'm addressing.
They tried. I mean, there was Parler,
Parler was probably the best attempt, and then they just
and then it got shut down. It's like,
Well,
how many?
it eventually came back, and there was no repush for it. It was like, oh, then they just splintered over together to all these other things, and it was disorganized. I guess my point is, if free speech on the internet is your thing, then do you have a plan, or is it just hope for the best? Because hope's not a strategy. Just because something good happened, I'm glad this happened, but hope is not a strategy. So there is no strategy for free speech on the internet, and if that's the way we're rolling, cool. I'm gonna keep doing this YouTube thing. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. But I guess that's my comment. Not even a issue. I don't necessarily have all the answers to it. I'm not saying that throw away this victory. I'm saying this is a victory. It's good to see a leftist platform be infiltrated for once, and it's good to see free speech be championed, at least for now. But if there's no plan for free speech on the internet, and the plan is just hope the big corporations agree with us, there still is an issue. That's really the point I'm trying to say. And unfortunately, as arduous and seemingly impossible to me, from what I stand, there has to be some push for some alternative platforms to exist, because all these platforms, I mean, Reddit, I mean, I know it existed 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but it wasn't as big as it is now. You know, these things grow. And I guess, you know, if there's a knock, this is probably going to kill the push for those alternative platforms, at least temporarily.
I don't really care about the alternative platforms until the big platforms become unviable. Like, I'm not like a guy who I'm not, it's only matters if it's independent and small. Like, I like
Say that.
YouTube still, you know what I mean? But I wish it was freer. I
Yeah.
wish there was more free speech on it for sure. But like, I'm not leaving.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the problem of free speech on the internet has not been solved by Elon Musk buying Twitter, even if it's an accomplishment. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, but that's what could be. What magic wand could you? If the president of the United States couldn't do anything about it, man, I don't know what a collective of conservatives could do.
I'm not saying change Twitter's mind. I'm saying create an alternative that's more than just a bunch of conservatives jerking off on it, and no one did that.
I'm sure if someone could, they would, because that would make them $1 billion.
Yeah, but
You have any thoughts? I mean, I'd be willing to go into business.
okay, let's get it done then. Let's get it. Let's try to get a business plan. Let's try to get.
Do you know anything about how to code? Do you know anything about programming? Oh, all right, well, good. We'll make our next. We'll call it shitter.
Man, I don't listen.
I don't know. I don't know what your point. I don't know. It seems like you kind of want to be cynical.
I'm not. I don't want to be cynical. I'm saying that my point is the internet got a little freer because of the whims of a billionaire. And then everyone is celebrating the whims of a billionaire. Like, yes, I'm being agreed with now. And that's cool. But like, so there is no plan. I'm trying to clarify. Is there a plan for free speech over the internet? Yes or no? If the answer is no, and we just hope it works out, that's cool.
What is that? What is it? What would a plan look like? What would a plan for free speech look like?
A plan.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
Is there are how many conservative commentators, not just fandom minutes, just all in general, with enough clout to which they tried with Parler, and then after it didn't work with Parler because they didn't have an AWS, and even though they're trying to invest. We have a Daily Wire for Hollywood, right? Daily Wire exists because they're trying to compete with Hollywood. How daunting is that? Is that going to be easy, even with their funds? That's just as daunting as what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is no one has kind of stepped up to do that. Elon is the only one who stepped up. So, I'm just going to fucking buy Twitter. I got the money to do it. But there's just no one. Everyone just is like hoping shit goes well. And I'm cool with it. I'm glad that I am kind of a natural skeptic. I'm not saying throw this win away. I was just commenting yesterday on my stream yesterday. This is a cool victory. This is a cool thing that's happening.
I just don't know if that's fair, man. I just don't know if it's fair to say that because what are we doing? We're championing free speech, right?
Yeah.
What is all the guys we respect to the Phantom Menace doing? What are a lot of comedians doing? What is the Daily Wire and the Rumor Report? Everyone's doing it. They're just upholding a principle. What plan can you enact?
Create another platform and all being all in, and in multiple groups of people being all in on pushing that platform.
These platforms aren't big because of political ideology. Like,
they're big because there's draws to them, and there needs to be people that understand that are part of this conversation. But okay, why is the Daily Wire trying to make movies?
Because Hollywood doesn't make content anymore.
Okay, how easy and viable is it for the Daily Wire to make something that is mainstream viable?
Tremendously difficult.
And they're still going to try to make movies, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I mean, people have tried. Like, you make it sound like everyone's just, boo, and no one's trying. People are trying. It's just not. How do you just manufacture a new platform out of thin air? Like you said, this is your point about the YouTube, like Odyssey or Rumble. They need the cat videos.
Yeah, they do need cat videos.
But you can't. That's not like YouTube was an organic thing. It just grew and grew and grew because of the same thing with Twitter. Same thing with all this stuff. It's organic because it had access to a lot of different people with a lot of different reasons to go on there. I mean, I don't think when they started YouTube, they're like, I hope this guy Mahler makes 10-hour critiques of the next Star Wars film. It's like no one would have thought that would be a thing. It required that source like the crowdsourcing of everyone contributing their own thing and utilizing the platform. The platform itself needs to stand alone. We don't need another Twitter. We have Twitter. We don't need another Facebook. We have Facebook. We don't need another YouTube. We really don't. It's just the only problem is these things get so powerful, and then they get restrictive. And I understand and respect, but to say, hey, everybody, hey, the several billion YouTube users, let's all go to Odyssey because we don't like how they censor our speech about The Last of Us Part 2. They're going to be like, I'm here for like knockout videos. I'm here for, watching barber content. Like it's not everyone's in this for the culture war.
Which I get, but which is why I've always said any alternative platform needs to be like not really even be involved with the culture war and try to push the the stuff that normies like.
But the normie stuff still exists perfectly fine on all these platforms.
True.
That's their base.
True.
How do you get why would they leave? They don't have to leave. They're like, I don't care. I'm here to see, oh, look at that sailboat.
Yeah, I mean, no platform really did a good job of marketing. You talk about like influencers and shit. You can come up with like a stupid ass product and get PewDiePie to plug it, and all of a sudden everybody knows of that stupid ass product. And like people have been able to market other products that aren't a social media platform through these huge people with huge platforms. Now it doesn't always work. I remember that they tried to do a Twitch alternative with the guy Ninja, and that failed. I'm not saying it would be an easy thing, and that we're just not pushing the button. I guess I'm saying that I'm still a bit uneasy because there's still just this like we're the win, and that's just how it always is. You know what I mean? It's not like a comment of woe is me. It's just like, okay, we're still at the whims of YouTube, of Facebook, of Twitter, of all these platforms. Maybe we'll get one that doesn't always go with the narrative, but
it's not the way of the world. Like even that DuckDuckGo guy, like that is a search engine that was the counter to Google, and that took off for a while. It's a very powerful search engine. And the competition to Google, the biggest company in the world, or whatever, one of the top companies in the world, and then that actually had, they tried to do Bing, and everyone's like, we're good. And then they did DuckDuckGo because it was like, yeah, we're not gonna filter your results and not gonna do an algorithm. And then that guy, a few weeks ago, says, yeah, we're gonna filter out pro-Russia content. It's like there's no way if it becomes big, it'll become the thing again. Like that's just the nature of power. It's like it will happen again. Like it's the human condition. It's a cycle. Like there's no God sitting at the top who doesn't have human flaws, who can just be perfect, Closest we have is Elon.
Well, I'm not going to call him a god. But that's a better counter argument than anything, because that is like, you're right about that. If something became popular, it will become the thing. Like I said, I'm commenting from the perspective of a slight outsider.
I don't know if Century Joe is being sarcastic or not, but he says, I'm just glad we'll be able to tweet freely about the food shortages, starvation, riots, and police state crackdowns that are incoming. Listen, if that's the case, that's a huge thing. And part of it is okay, so imagine, let's just be optimistic for just a second. We can go back to being cynical and negative in a minute, don't worry. But I'm saying, so it's we look at Twitter right now that we have a platform that still has millions of users, right? Yeah, I know it's not most people, whatever. There's millions of users on Twitter. Now, from that, now that it's unfiltered relatively, you can build off more things from that. And little alternative little pockets and bubbles can grow from there because it isn't just one side or one little narrow ideology controlling the whole thing. Now it can really help expand people's minds, open them up to different creators, open them up to Gary where they would have been shadow banned or James Lindsay or something, or whatever. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Jake D. Fucking A. Twatter, moderation and suppression extended the tyrannical government practices of the previous 2 years. Change your mind. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I guess there's and kind of piggyback off of that point. It almost because things are starting to I think in most places I don't know if there's mask mandates everywhere else, but I know even in North Carolina there weren't, and so things are starting to open up, be a little bit more closer to normal. And I guess it's I don't know. Like what just happened could just happen again, and we're still screwed.
Another billionaire will come in, a bigger billionaire.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just talking about in general with the past 2 years, not just Twitter. I'm just talking about the lockdowns, the oversteps and bounds of government.
But it's a lot tougher if you also don't control the narrative 100%. That's the big thing that they had for a long time. That's why I say like Twitter does matter, man, because it's like even if it's like the news people will put their tweets out there. They're the ones pushing the stories. Those stories push news. That pushes the whole culture. Yeah. And it affects how we all look at everything. And so when that's not a stranglehold anymore, it's a completely different game now. So the next time you try to say something like, ivermectin's horse medicine or whatever, well, then there could be a billion other people be like, oh, hold on. Here's this doctor. Here's this article. Here's this. Now we can have a more complex conversation. You can't just dominate the narrative if there's other voices allowed to contribute.
Now, I have a question I just thought of. So one of the things that Twitter was really powerful for, like you just mentioned, the media's ability to use Twitter to create stories and therefore drive narrative in one direction. What if they, in a way, do what I'm talking about? Not necessarily build their own platform. Just say, all right, we're done with Twitter. We're moving to TikTok. We came here from Tumblr. And then we're taking over TikTok. And we're doing the same thing. We're using TikTok stories and we're being artificial about that and controlling the narrative and we're in the same boat, and they just almost allow Twitter to parlor itself by leaving.
It could happen. I mean, I'm not saying it can't, but I think it won't because it's already the established platform. That's why it was so hard to create an alternative. That's why, it's so difficult to get these.
I said with TikTok. TikTok is now also an established platform. It's not the same
it is.
format, but
it's different though. It's a different thing. It's how you're going to run the news on TikTok. You know what I mean? You're going to be like, hey, fat ass 77 says Biden's actually doing a great job. You know what I mean? And then like people in the middle of the country will be like, fat ass 77 said it. All right. Oh, in that case, I won't think twice. It's a little, that's a tougher
77 on Twitter. You know what I mean?
That's a tougher, it's a tougher sell. I think it's a little tougher, man, because it's like you brought up a good point saying that they use it to create the narrative. It's like, yeah, right, that's a good point too. They would literally, it would be this kind of like snowball thing that would start with a lie. Rough girl, love you, girl. She said, "Sent Cash App, gotta go." You just got a little tip from Rough Girl.
Thank you.
I mean, look, I would say let's wait and see. I mean, at least, right? Let's count the dub and then see what happens.
That's probably the best way to handle it.
You want to see what Rogan said about it?
Sure.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta put the ad blocker because news outlets, man.
Gotta get that money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. All right, here we go. Because I haven't heard this video, so I don't know what he said, but I imagine he's happy about it. Full screen is unavailable. Whatever.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
And this is where we find ourselves with Elon Musk about to buy Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently it's going down.
Is this Jessica Kirsten?
Oh, shit!
What?
Oh, shit!
The press release has been announced.
Elon Musk just bought Twitter. We got a movie star type of a superhero. It's like a movie. Like if you had a movie and there was a guy who was like a hero in the movie who happened to be a billionaire, does wild shit, like makes his own rockets and drills under the city and
That's
electric cars and then buys Twitter.
Insane.
Elon Musk agrees to buy Twitter in a $44 billion deal. Agreement to take social media network private marks the close of dramatic courtship. Here's why that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, tell me. I need
all,
to hear what you think.
He believes that free speech.
By the way, he's talking to Jessica Kirsten, who's a comedian out of New York, who is fucking hilarious. It's very funny.
Is important, and not just important, vital for a democracy, for a functioning democracy. And I agree with that. And what's interesting about this is we found out some things about Twitter, and one of the things they do is shadow ban people. So they make it so that your content, whatever you put out, has less impact. It has less engagement. They limit your ability to express yourself. They ban accounts, and they ban accounts if the account says something that they don't agree with. if the account says something that violates what they believe. Also, this ability to shadow ban people has to be exposed.
Right. That happens on TikTok. Do you remember that clip you just saw?
Yes.
Where I said I should be, it was about me and my body and how I felt.
Yeah.
It was taken down and I was put on probation.
Well, TikTok.
Oh shit. Oops. She said I heard that on Tim Dillon's show. She was talking with Tim about how like she used to be like, I forgot, it was like hundreds of pounds, and she's like, I should have been shamed. I should have been like I was disgusting. Like that was like her take on it.
Yeah.
And I guess they took that down.
Wow.
Yeah.
See?
TikTok is rough.
It's the roughest.
Yeah. Well, I think they don't want anything that interrupts ad revenue and anything that gets them.
Can someone buy TikTok and please?
Maybe
help
Elon will
with
buy
that?
TikTok next.
Jesus.
But
I mean,
maybe the Chinese won't sell. Maybe if they sell it, it'll be like one of them deals. Like you think you bought it, but there's nothing in it.
I doubt someone's going to sell. They're
Reopen.
not going to sell TikTok.
They-
But they're really the worst. They're the.
TikTok's the worst.
I
don't
can't
use
believe
TikTok.
I didn't think they were gonna that was gonna happen with him on Twitter. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Apparently, it was really close yesterday, and I'd heard it, this morning that it was probably going to happen. But the fact that it's now announced, that's fucking amazing. Look, it'll change everything, and I wonder how quickly it is before Donald Trump's back.
I think I already saw the thing. He said he's not going to come back, even if Elon bought it. I didn't see a reason why, but that's Variety reported
I'll
that.
tell you exactly why. Because of his Truth Social, social media. Why are we playing around with this Twitter shit? We would be on Truth Social.
Is that big?
That's Donald Trump's social media
but
platform.
is it big?
The biggest.
Is it?
It's the biggest of all time. They say that Twitter's not as big. Donald Trump says, I'm not going back to Twitter, even with Elon Musk taking over.
All right. What do you think, my friend?
I don't know. I can't, I don't, as far as Rogan's take, I mean, that's kind of the take I expected. Listen, I'm happy everyone else is happy. It's probably the best answer I can give. I'm happy everyone else is happy. I don't want to be cynical, man. I don't want to be,
Vigilante, why don't you smile more? Why don't you embrace the world?
Man.
You need to smile, and you need to see the positive in things. Sometimes that's what you need to do.
There is.
Okay?
I
You
see
can't just be a sad man in your apartment all alone all the time.
weed. Listen.
It's not good for you.
It isn't, but I'm trying to vape. You guys heard me smoking too. But listen, I see the positive. There is a positive.
Yay. Good.
I absolutely see the positive. I've actually absolutely commented on the positive. I just also see the negative. I also see.
Well, that's where you got to stop. Just stop right there. Don't say that.
It is.
Don't
what
even
it
look.
is. I'm cynical, hell grim, hell cinch a dildo. Windows hate speech.
No, I'm not. I love speech.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I hope everyone finds what they're looking for out of Elon buying Twitter, and wish them the best.
Well, I don't go for all the nasty things they've been saying on there. I just think you need to be a happier person, bitch.
Yeah, I will try.
There we go. That's the go-getter attitude.
Everyone else is happy. How about that?
That's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
There we go. Window, everyone's favorite.
Discount Ben Shapiro.
He says very mean things.
Oh,
I don't go for that at all.
No, you're way taller than Ben Shapiro. He's like a midget, right?
Is he a shrimp?
He looks it. Maybe he's not, but it just looks like he's 5, and that's it. Like he just looks short. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. The fish needs some poom poom. Just look how happy Matt is.
Poom poom? Is that a
I'm
code
assuming
for
that's what I'm assuming it's a code for.
vaginas?
Yeah. Vid needs vag. No, I mean,
Maybe. That's probably some good insight.
maybe. But like, I just as far as the Twitter thing, I'm happy everyone else happy. I do find it a win in the greater, whether you want to call it the culture war, things going on. And I hope everyone's happy, and I hope it works out, and I hope it is what everyone thinks, and hope it is.
I think it will be. I mean, I think right now everyone's just kind of like having a little bit of fun. They're just sort of like, kind of taking their moment to pwn some libs, and that'll fade. It'll just go back to a conversation. And then I think when it will be significant is the next time a big story comes up that needs, scrutiny and needs, smart people who are not cooked on one side of the argument to weigh in. They'll be able to.
Yeah, and what? When that happens is the best time to see whether or not something good is happening. Because, like you said, everyone's pwning the libs right now. But
which is so funny. It's pretty funny.
I mean, I know Elon's a smart guy. He knows how to make money. He does things his own way. He's still a human like everyone else, so that doesn't mean he won't.
He might be a human. He's not like everyone else.
He could already be on the brain leak and be a Skynet puppet. Who knows?
We'll see. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it. I love opening up Twitter now. I think it's fun.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, I authentically, because it's like so many social media platforms over the years. Like, I just stopped going on Facebook, like, I don't know, 3 years ago. Like, because I would just open it up and get mad, like, sometimes it'd be nice to see, oh, my friend from high school had a baby. Like, that's cool, like, that's good news, I guess, and my little acting community, you see people like, hey, set life. And, you try to be encouraging and stuff. But most times you just, like, people like, and it's just like, oh, boy, this is just unhealthy. And so Twitter was almost that purely. It was just only one kind of argument, one negative thing. You'd log on there and be like, why Republicans are, and it's just like a constant just so it's like you could only look for like a second, and now I just open it up. I'm like, this is great. I love it here, at least for now.
Cool. I don't know what to say, because if I say anything else, it'll be cynical.
I know. That's what I'm laughing at.
So, I mean, thumbs up across the board.
Oh, Fidge, you need a hug.
No, don't touch me.
I'll give you a hug if you like. I'm a great hugger.
I will file
I've been told.
a lawsuit for sexual harassment.
That's what I've heard. Word around the campfire is I'm a great hugger.
Contacting HR, man. This is not okay.
That's unnecessary. It's all love.
Yeah, that's what Epstein said too.
All right, I got something a little bit more up your alley. Okay, you can get all cynical and conspiratorial. Here
Once
we
I
go.
get a positive slant.
I swear to God, I will end this stream.
Oh, don't give me encouragement.
Megan Fox admits to participating in ritual blood drinking with Machine Gun Kelly.
Well, shit. So now we went from me being cynical to me being conspiratorial, right? But do I even have to say anything? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this one's not a conspiracy. She says she did it.
I don't even know what to say to that. Illuminati confirmed. I mean, shit. So you have asked me before, like, Jesus, everything conspiracy. The reason the answer is pretty much yes is because of shit like this. Kanye be a little bit too. I might just get a
You guys
hammer.
are just contrarians. You have no principles. You just like trolling other people.
Maybe. Okay, but
no. But some things are. Some things are. Not everything.
Everything. Every 99.99. Because
You watch too much wrestling. It's all the work.
I actually don't watch. I don't watch wrestling as much. But I mean, I don't have to because real life is just as fake. That's pretty crazy. I mean, it's not crazy because this is Hollywood, right? That is a real thing. That is a huge thing in Hollywood. Not just Hollywood. A lot of these, circles where the movers and shakers move and shake. I'm not shocked. I am shocked that she is admitting it. I'm not sure if it's like, okay, you can just be normal now and just let everyone know how it goes down. But this is the rumor that this is how Hollywood goes down. This is what you have to do to go a little bit further in your career. You know, that's what everyone says. There is some documented stuff that there's something to it, and now you got coming from the horse's mouth. JD, I wonder why you keep looking at the middle bottom of the picture.
Yeah, she does look pretty good there, but I always thought she just looked like such a bitch. Just like she looked like a mean stripper or like a really entitled bartender or something. You know, like she would just be so cunty. Like that's just my impression.
She does kind of look like a mean stripper.
Like she'd just be the worst. Like just an utter trash person. I don't know. It's just that's my impression just by like her looks and the way she carries herself.
The fact that she drinks blood in the ritual is probably also a good indicator. She's not.
I mean,
on her.
yeah. All right. So it says she drinks the blood of Machine Gun Kelly in rituals. Is that just a code? Does she just use blood as a code? It's like I drank his blood, you know?
Man, I hope to God so, because that's even creepier and weirder.
That is weird.
I guess it's better than being like an innocent or something, but like, geez.
Yeah. Some virgin from the town.
Yeah.
That they pillaged.
Like, but yeah, literal succubus sent you dildo. That's pretty wild. You said who wants to curb stomp him? I mean, she may just accidentally kill him trying to fuck him in some weird ritual satanic sex. So I gotta watch out for these girls, man. They might be a witch. Trying to drink the blood.
Okay. Oh my God. So in an Instagram post, Fox wrote, in July of 2020, we sat under this banyan tree. We asked for magic. We were oblivious to the pain we would face together in such a short, frenetic period of time, unaware of the work and sacrifice the relationship would require from us, but intoxicated off of the love and the karma. Oh, God. She continued, somehow a year and a half later, having walked through hell together, and having laughed more than I have ever imagined possible, he asked me to marry him, and I just, in every lifetime before this one, as in every lifetime that will follow, I said yes. And then we drank each other's blood. Wait, what was that last word? That's where you left off?
Don't bury the lead.
Kinda, yeah. And then we drank each other's blood?
And see, I do have a kind of a funny take. And it is kind of a YouTube take. It's not like, it's semi-real, but semi-work. This is what I'm scared about with dating, man. Not, I'll tell you why. Am I scared that I'm going to end up in a blood cult? 99% no. There's that 1% if she's bad enough, right? Anything can happen, but you don't.
You might make an exception. I dated a Satanist for a little while.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. How'd that go?
Not well.
I can imagine. You sacrifice anything to any deities?
Just my dignity.
Sheesh.
Self-respect.
But girls can lead you down a path, man. Now, listen, they probably were both on this crazy shit when they met, being how you hear about Hollywood. But, like, and not just girls, for the girls in the check. If you're dating someone, you can get led down a path and just find yourself in the shit that you're not really into. But all of a sudden, because this person's into it, you just been into it. And
find yourself watching The Bachelor, going on picnics, drinking each other's blood. It's a slippery slope.
It is. Now, again, you want to stop before the drinking blood thing, right? But the other shit is kind of annoying too, right? Because you don't fucking like The Bachelor. And then you ever find yourself like watching like some shitty reality TV show that you never watched, and then all of a sudden you've like watched it, and now even after you broke up with the person, you still may watch it.
You like it stuck around, like the habit stuck around? No. I was thinking about, I watched Mystic Pizza with a girl one time.
Okay.
No, it was horrible. It was so bad. It was terrible. I mean, I was just making fun of it the entire time.
I thought, didn't they just come out the past year or so?
No, that's like a 90s movie.
90s.
That's like a young Julia Roberts. It's so bad. It's empty. It's devoid of a plot. There's no plot. Like, there's no stakes. There's no story. It is just a bunch of girls, like, in relationships and, like, family. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, just another red shirt for it. As tall and handsome as he is, and I have done the damnedest thing for Poontang.
We all have, my friend.
Man. Yeah.
We all have.
That's the stress I don't want to go through. I don't want to have to drink and have my blood drinking just to get some box, man. That's just going too far.
Before addressing her ritual blood drinking, can we get to the blood drinking, Megan? I kind of want to talk about that, if that's okay. Fox admitted she doesn't actually post to social media while answering a question regarding her psychological breakdown. She explained, I have social media, but I don't personally use it. I have somebody who posts for me, and I decide what I want to say. But I don't physically do it myself because I think it's sinister. It's evil.
That's evil.
That's
Social
evil.
media is evil.
Not blood
Drinking
ritual.
Significant other's blood is a-okay, though.
Right, yeah. Blood magic, that's fine. So Instagram, that's a step too far. Okay. I don't think people understand we've come to this place where we grasp like bullying is bad. But when it comes to a celebrity, all of that is thrown out the window, she continued. Yeah. That's
man,
true.
You drink blood, you have other issues that's going on. I'm going to go ahead and gander and take a guess. I'm not a psychological expert. Vigilante Williamson is not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. But I'm going to go ahead and guess that psychological breakdown is not quite over if you're drinking your fiance or husband's blood and he's drinking yours. And
I don't like the idea that a celebrity can be bullied. Like, it's like you decided to go down a path where you were famous. That means you don't get to control how people see you or treat you or talk to you, maybe in person. But other than that, talk about you, that's part of the game there, sugar.
I have multiple thoughts on that. Like, part of me absolutely agrees with what you just said, right? But my thought is always of like, okay, it's still probably not healthy to bully celebrities for your part, like to be that engaged with these people. Like, I talk my shit if you in passing, but if you're going out of your way to, no matter if this person is more famous or not, it's probably not the healthiest thing. And there's also a thought of, I don't want to be in the habit of like you're right. Listen, if you make the path, even us, right? If you are going down the path of using either your personality or your fame or your attention or whatever for attention, there is something that comes along with it. But you don't want to get in the habit of, well, this person's famous, they can do whatever they want to them. You know what I mean? That's kind of like the policy of jealousy sort of thing. Like, oh, well, they're famous, just deal with it. You know what I mean? No, I wouldn't drink her blood.
Kinda. Well, hold on. Let me address what you're saying. So it's like, sorta, like, to a degree. I'm not saying, like, I don't think the people who do it are healthy, but I don't think like you should be immune to it. Like, it's like,
no, you can't, because it's like
you can't control that.
Yeah,
it's not really for you to control, right? I mean, like, you're the one who put yourself out there. You're the one that put yourself in those situations. I mean, look, her strategy of not going on social media is probably the best way to deal with it.
Yeah, hire a social media manager, have them do it.
I just don't like how she says, oh, I've gotten bullied. It's like, you got bullied while you drove a fucking Ferrari back to your mansion, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
your whole life is taken care of. Like, you have like people adoring fans and a staff doting on you. It's like, all right, well, that's not free. And the price is people are mean to you on social media. Like, okay, I think that's a pretty reasonable price.
if that's it, because obviously it's fucking more to that than staying famous, isn't it? As we see, hell. Cody,
Hell.
shout
Thanks
out
for coming by.
coming by from Sporking News.
Love it.
But shit, as we see, it's not just you have a doting public. It's blood rituals too.
Right,
So
yeah. I mean, I'm talking about just a separate issue. I'm just talking about just that one little point. We can get back to the whole blood magic thing in a
I
second.
got a question for you. You were in Hollywood. You've done some strange things for a little change. Let's say, didn't you say you went out for the Flash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, and I know you said the script was horrible because it was a CW show, and that was the best. The early seasons were the good seasons. You didn't see the real shit. But let's say they like, you know what, Matt? We're still deciding. Could you come? We want you to come to a party. You know what I mean? You just go to a party, and all of a sudden it's like, no, this. If you really want the role, you can have it, but you got to do something crazy.
Well, The thing about it, if you're like in like some dungeon, right, and everyone's got like black hoods and shit, like, what do? Like,
Right?
do you
You
say,
already gotta fail, right? You gotta.
yeah, nah, I'm good. They're like, you're not good.
Yeah, you're not gonna walk out of there. I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know. That's scary, man. I really don't know. I feel like that really only happens on the highest levels, though. Like I don't think like
It's
TV.
not full eyes wide shut. It's like, hey, it's a room. It's a producer with who's happy to see you. He is, and he's like, hey, buddy, how bad do you want this job?
And what are they asking me to do?
Well, they're not gonna ask you to do anything.
Well, what's on the table?
A penis.
Oh, I gotta suck a dick to be the Flash?
Yeah.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
Yeah, I went. I could have did the Illuminati. I could have said like drink this cup of ghost blood or some shit. But I'm just saying anything on the scale. It could be anything from something like what they're doing with their little goat rituals or whatever the fuck, drinking each other's blood. Hey, just sacrifice a goat, or it could be, hey, BJ o'clock.
I would really be sad to be put in that position. But if it was like my life wasn't at risk,
Life's
no,
not a risk. You can walk, if you want to walk out the door, you can walk out the door.
yeah, I'd walk.
Okay.
But I mean, I say that. I've never been put in that position.
Yeah.
No one's ever been like, here's a dick, and behind this dick is fame and millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, can you black it? Can you black it out? Can we do like some? Can I do like the Michael Jackson drug and I'll just forget it?
I don't know.
Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, because I heard it start like they scale up. Like you don't just one day like, all right.
No, that's not how it works.
You know, it starts off it probably starts off at a casting couch. Probably not that far off.
Later, red shirt. See you, buddy.
All right.
No, I think they groom you, honestly. And I don't mean like in the traditional sense. I mean, although I'm sure there's plenty of that. But I mean like they kind of vet you, and it's very like organized. Because like that's why I think I didn't get close at all. Like was because I'm not one of them. I'm not like I don't go along with the crowd to go along with the crowd. Like I'm, you know what I mean? I'm a little too
much of a rebel.
Yeah, kind of. Like I just, and I don't mean that like to compliment myself. I mean like it's just I kind of stand out. Like I'm not as usable. So it's like they're not going to start with me. But if they did, you know, it's like it would be gradual, right? You know, you go out with them, you do a little bit of drugs or whatever. They hold your hand or something. You know what I mean? It's like little
like,
shit.
You know, start off. You know how you do a commercial in a dress.
Yeah.
Have you in like a BDSM situation.
Yeah, that's all for comedy. I mean, that's for a laugh. That's different. Hey, did you laugh?
Yeah, I did laugh.
Okay. Well, then it worked.
Uncomfortable. No, it wasn't one of those. It was the other, the indie movie. Just made it with the.
Yeah, no, that was just bad.
It made everyone uncomfortable, and it's to me still implausible. I just don't buy it.
Yeah, but no, like I said, I've never even been put in that position, so I don't think that was a worry of mine.
Yeah. Did you ever hear about crazy shit like that in Hollywood? Like, oh man, this motherfucker's, you know, drinking goat blood.
No.
This motherfucker's doing gay for pay. That's how they're getting their roles. None of that.
Nah, because you wouldn't hear about it. It wouldn't be something that would come out. It's very, very tight-lipped, you know, communities, and it's all very inside. Like once you're inside, you don't talk.
Some Fight Club shit. First rule about Fight Club: don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I don't know. Hey, let's get back to the article.
These weird motherfuckers.
Fox then said, maybe it would be worse back then. I actually don't think so. I think with the invention of social media, it's now so accessible now that it's much worse. But it was more the negativity that was constantly being spewed towards me or directed towards me. It doesn't even require somebody to actually say something directly to me, she detailed. It doesn't require me to read it. But when so many people around the world are thinking about you or having negative thoughts or intentions toward you, that energy permeates me. It penetrates me. I don't have boundaries or walls for that. What? So what do you gotta do? Like magic rituals to keep the negativity? Oh, well, yes, that's actually exactly what she's doing.
Exactly it. Man, you know something, man. Because listen, I don't know how certain ultra programs work within the government. Matt's having flashbacks. I hope not. But like, man, I don't know if that's something going on. Like, she's actually feeling they've come up with some way for her to actually feel the energy of the negative tweets and shit. I don't know.
I'm a little skeptical that she's that sensitive. That you could just you just imagine someone like you could just feel someone in India hating you, and you're like, oh, more hate coming my way.
I'm not saying, but maybe that's one of the side effects of frying someone's brain. All of a sudden, they can, they have extra sense of energy or some shit. I don't know. Because
it just sounds like some chick shit.
It sounds like some chick shit, but they say that when they give these crazy interviews, there's truth in them. So I'm like, I wonder, it probably is just some crazy chick shit. But then again, I mean, who the fuck knows? Like, this is literal witchcraft shit.
Exactly, Senja Diddle. They're lame as fuck. It's just like, oh, stop it.
I can feel it.
Just weird assholes who, went to the right party, fucked the right person, drunk the right person's blood. They don't really have talent, most of them.
No, I disagree with that.
Talented.
No, they do have talent. It's just that in order to get paid for that talent, that's when you got to go do the thing. It's not that they're not talented. They are. They just have to conform to the.
A significant portion. I'll go. A lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't. Was Megan Fox a talented actress?
I wouldn't go that far now.
Exactly. Megan Fox was if she was less attractive, she'd have never made it to Hollywood.
Yeah, but that's true about a lot of actresses,
True.
talented and untalentless alike.
That's true. But she wasn't that talented. I guess Machine Gun Kelly. The two celebrities being spoken about surely did not make it on talent.
Machine Gun Kelly?
He was okay his first album or two.
He's independent.
He was okay then. But
He made it himself. I mean, he didn't just all that hype and shit. He didn't. That was him manufactured. Like he made all that. He wasn't like a record company guy.
But since then, that was a while ago.
Okay, fine, but he got established because of it. So that's talent. It's talent just to be noticed.
Yeah, I guess. Because the early Machine Gun Kelly was kind of solid.
Yeah,
so I don't want to totally besmirch.
I liked his rap diss with M.
He kind of got slaughtered, but
yeah, he did. But I still liked it.
it was alright. But by that point, I was already off of Machine Gun. I was like, okay.
I didn't even hear about it. That was the first I'd ever heard about him.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He had been around for a while.
Yeah, I would not call Machine Gun Kelly talentless. You might not like him, but he's definitely not talented. I mean, then he goes and does that whole pop punk album. There's talent there, man.
Well, there's ghostwriters too. So.
Yeah, but you still have to perform.
Yeah.
You still have to go on the road and do the shows and perform and sing. That's not talentless.
It's not talentless, but it's like there's someone in an alley somewhere way more talented than him, and will never get the chance, sort of thing.
Whatever. I don't. That's all subjective and conjecture, and it's the most talented people on earth are like opera singers and violinists, but they're not famous.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an average at best rapper now, so that's where it's like I guess there is a baseline of talent needed. I mean, shit, you need talent to do anything with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So to say he's not talented is ridiculous. To be an average rapper, you have to be talented.
Okay, I guess Machine Gun Kelly is # talented. Are a lot of people streaming right now?
What am I saying that's so goddamn controversial? You're like, you'll be all right. Why is that such a hard thing to capitulate?
The premise is okay, even if he's not it's like he's not exceptionally talented. He's just baseline. He's able to stand up straight and be a celebrity. Therefore, he's a celebrity. And so I can give him that much credit. But it's
I don't know. I also have a kind of a respect for him because I bartended his birthday party years ago, and he was so fucking cool.
Okay.
Well, so fucking cool.
Being a cool guy. I'll give him that.
I'll tell you this too about Machine Gun Kelly. So it was his birthday party, and all like his friends were there. The Paul brothers were there. Pete Davidson was there. All these kind of like that little crowd of celebrity influencers, bro. And I mean this without exception, down to like the thoughtiest looking Instagram hoe. All those people that were there were polite, were respectful, and tipped well.
Oh, that's cool to see.
Universally, like, I mean, with no exception. And then like all like his friends from back home were really cool, based motherfuckers. Like, I really had a blast bartending that party. Like, I have nothing bad to say about him. Like, I mean, we talk about whatever, but it's just like, as a person, I was floored by how cool him and all the closest people to him were.
Well, you know what? Most as many people have terrible meeting celebrity stories, I'll give him credit for being a good person.
He started off the party by going to the tea. He said, "Hey man," and he put up $100 bill and threw it in the tip jar in front of everybody.
That's pretty cool.
It's fucking real cool. And like they were just cool. Like it was just no bullshit. Like it was. I was blown away because I've worked for plenty of those people and they're just scum. They have like no respect for staff. They're just not respect for people. They're just gross narcissists. No one I encountered with there was like that.
Wow.
And I got laid off it. It was a great night.
Okay, so like that's why you're defending Machine Gun Kelly. I'm like, Machine Gun Kelly's not.
No, but I this whole thing that you're talentless. It's like, bro, I was an actor for a long fucking time. I met a lot of talentless actors. But if you go on camera and you hit your fucking marks and you deliver your lines and you manage to not look like a complete fool, that's talent.
Okay. That's fair. Well, all right. Last week on one of my streams that I don't know if you ever uploaded to Patreon, but we were talking about K Flock. Is K Flock talented?
I mean, he must have some kind of charm. It's not my style. I don't know. Like, I guess that kind of no. I would say not a talented lyricist. No. Maybe he's got. Is talent swagger? Like, is that talent?
You know, that's a good question because when you're talking about, especially modern rap, a lot of it's just the charisma of the person more
And
so
that's
than
something.
the song. There is something to that, yeah, because everybody you can't, you either have it or you don't when it comes to charisma,
Yeah, you
So
carry
there-
yourself with confidence. You believe in yourself. You sell yourself. That's talent in a way.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
everybody's you're talented.
Everybody's got talent. You just find out which one it is.
Yeah. Rap is more than lyrics. Yeah, it's more than being a lyricist. So you're right about that.
Yeah, and like rock's more than guitar.
Yeah. Charisma matters when we're talking about entertainment. So, yeah, you're right. Machine, I take it back.
Thank you.
Machine Gun Kelly is talented.
Yay, I am right.
You know who else is talented? What's the guy that Censor Dildo doesn't like and I don't really listen to know if I like him or not?
Oh, what is his Tom?
Tom McDonald. He's talented too.
Yeah, he's a douche though. I remember when Kerry Smith was so in love with this guy, and I'm like, oh, and I turned, I'm like, ugh, oof, boy, I tried, and it was not for me at all. Yikes.
I heard like one or two songs that were played on FNT, and I never ever had the urge to listen to any of his music ever after that.
So bad. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Rhythm, like they call it flow, right? Like having flow is a talent or a skill.
Yeah. Well, now melody's more important because of the auto-tune. But so melody's almost more important than melody and rhythm. Melody and flow is the whole thing. More
I would say a
important than
guy. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but right now, melody, flow, presentation is number one. Image,
Absolutely.
charisma. I mean, 6ix9ine is a testament to just he looks like, oh, what the hell is going on with that guy? Just look at him.
It's true.
And that's huge. That is so huge. Shit, that's why I'm wearing a mask, because there's no other way for me to achieve that fucking look. I mean, I look goofy as shit. You see me. Some of you in the chat see me. Look goofy as shit. That shit ain't gonna work. I gotta do something to spruce it up.
Well, it works if it's your thing. Like it's about confidence, right? Like, like those guys in the 80s, there was a bunch of those dudes that were kind of silly. Like, you know what I mean? Like Humpty Hump and fucking the Fat Boys and stuff. Like even like Biggie, like it's kind of like you just got to kind of own your own image, right? If you don't try to pretend something you're not, like that, it's like you could be a lot of different things. It's just like if you try to be like a Waka Flocka, whatever these kids' names are, and then but you're not, people are going to see right through it. What?
Waka Flocka is 10 years old.
Whatever. I don't care. None of it matters to me. It's all noise. I don't give a shit. I don't mean like the music's noise. I mean I mean, the culture of it all is just, it's like, okay, it's
Like,
happening. That's happening
sense.
elsewhere, like without me I don't even notice it. I'm like, okay, Nicki Minaj, I don't hear any of it. Just like, all right, it exists. It's got nothing to do with me.
Matt doesn't listen to black people confirm. No, I'm just joking. That's kind of how I am anyway, because I don't really listen to too much. I'm getting it. I'm getting there. I listen to some hip hop, but not. I don't know who's the most popular rapper. I'm not up on what's going on. There's a few guys I like, and I just fuck with them.
Lil Uzi Vert. What? That's a name? I don't listen to Tupac. Tupac sucks. All right. I don't know what we're doing here.
Have you encountered that kid that hates all old rap but thinks the newest guy is the best guy ever?
There was some famous rapper who said that. Some famous kid. Yeah. Tupac's overrated or something like that. And I'm like, that's a weird. Oh, like for hip hop though, I find that to be a weird flex because pretty much like my experience with hip hop is that it always shows respect to the prior generations, and that was kind of it always just building off the last generation. I've never really seen anyone be like, the last generation sucked. I never heard that before from rap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I would say in the last 5 or so years, it kind of became a popular thing to say, "Oh, the old shit sucks." That was the end thing to do. It's rebellious.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds corny to me. Let's hear more about this witch woman.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, Fox would be asked, "Is it true you drank each other's bloods after he proposed?" She answered, "I guess, quote, drank each other's blood might mislead people." Yeah, I wonder why. Why would anyone get that wrong impression? Or like people are imagining us with goblets like we're Game of Thrones drinking each other's blood. Bitch, you didn't clarify a single detail. You just said, and then we drank each other's blood. Was that a euphemism or what? You said it. What are we supposed to conclude?
She looks like she's in outer space in that picture, man.
She does. She goes on to say, it's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only.
Oh, that clarifies it. Now, thank God. It's only for ritual purposes, everyone.
Doesn't that seem worse?
Yeah, it does.
You
know
want
what?
blood rituals?
You once asked on this show, like, why, we were talking a little bit conspiratorial, and you're like, why be so evil for evil's sake? Like, what's the end goal? I think, in a way, it's just like that's their religion. And they do take it seriously as a religion. And so
evil?
all this evil shit, the ritual shit, all of it, it's like that's them going to church on Sunday. You know what I mean? Paying tithes. Like that's what they do. This is what they do.
That's kind of funny. Like there's just someone who's just like rolling their eyes through like the blood magic. Like there's just like a bored, like they're bored at the virgin sacrifice and just like checking out their phone in the back, kind of behind.
There's someone.
Do they go to brunch afterwards? You know, because I know it's a big thing in the church communities to go out afterwards, go after brunch. So after the ritual sacrifices, do they go to Denny's? Is that part of it?
Probably.
Yeah, you think that's like
Waffle houses and shit like that.
Do you wear your best black robes on your ritual sacrifice day?
Probably don't, right? You got to wear, lower quality because you might get,
But it's church day. You wear your Sunday best. So like, do you wear your Friday midnight best or whenever they do these things?
Yeah. Because I mean, you might get a little statage, so you gotta kind of have it balanced. Let's maybe have an apron on.
I just love the idea, like because how people get bored at church, like, oh, all right, I'm just bored at my ritual sacrifice. Like, oh yeah, praise Satan, just like humdrum, monotone, going along with the ritual. All right, yes, we will destroy the.
There's people like that, right? Like there's gotta be, right? Because when you look at some of the guys, like not to bring him up again, but old Harvey, I don't want to say his last name, get him in trouble. He seemed like he was just after box, right? He just seems like a guy. I'm not trying to justify the crazy shit he did, but he just seems like he just wanted pussy. Like he wasn't really there for all the like goats and all the other crazy shit. Like he was just here to just fuck the hottest girls he possibly could. And you can imagine there's probably lots of guys that are like, yeah, whatever. I'm not really about this life, but this is just what comes with it. But I can't wait to get into the hookers and blow.
Well, I think that's if we're gonna take it seriously instead of running with the funny joke. I guess we'll say, yeah. I mean, like There's probably a lot of people that capitulate that shit just because it's like, why even would you do it except for the benefits?
Yeah. And no,
You
I don't
know?
want to believe white people are the devil. Ascension dildo.
Did she say anything more? She further explained, it is used for a reason. It is controlled where it's like she shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much haphazard and hectic and chaotic where he's willing to just let you cut his chest open with a broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you.
Jesus.
Ew, what a pussy. When asked if that actually happens, Fox replied, it does not happen. Let me tell you, maybe not exactly like that, but a version of it has happened, and many times. I like how like nonchalant she is about the fact that we drink each other's blood in a ritual, as if it's like, oh yeah, I make him dinner sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of how she's acting, right?
I do my I do his laundry every once in a while. You know, every once in a while I'll just eat a toe of his. It's not a big deal.
That's some sick shit, man. That's some real sick shit. All jokes and all, everything aside, that's like crazy. That's fucking nuts. And it's fucking nuts she admitted it. Like, what prompted her to say that?
Well, they say in that all that shit that there's more power when you do it publicly.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. Listen, if Megan Fox makes a comeback into acting, you know how. 'Cause, I mean, she's still doing stuff that people care about.
I don't know. She's on the cover of Glamour right now, or British Glamour.
Yeah.
So that's relatively significant.
Yeah, but like, is it just because she hasn't hit the wall yet, and so they can take her picture? She still looks pretty.
No, that stuff doesn't work like that. All that shit is like PR and corporations. Like it's all strategic. Like you don't just accidentally end up on the cover of that. That's a whole plan. You know, it's a whole marketing strategy for whatever it is they're doing.
It doesn't usually. I mean, so she has to have something coming out then, right? Like
Probably.
Just,
I mean, you know, who knows?
yeah.
Do you want to see that fight?
Yeah. Yeah. You're
do.
talking about this bench clearing brawl.
Yeah. So I was at the gym watching this game before the fight early on, and like, damn, the Mets were doing so well. Like, they put up like 4 runs in the first 2 innings. They were shutting out the Cardinals, and also they were making the pitcher work, man. Like the Cardinals pitcher threw 60 pitches through 2 innings, which I was like, that's what I'm talking about, boys. We're looking good. And then they lost 10-4, but or 10-5, whatever. But I guess I'm not entirely sure why. So let's watch the video, because fighting in sports is always fun.
Yeah. I need more of it.
Yeah. Yeah, look, they lost 10-5. It's the bottom of the 8th.
And it's up and in, and you had to know that was coming. And Arenado nods out at Lopez as if to say, I knew, and now he says, come get me. And here we go. You knew something was going to happen, and here it is.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Going at it now. This has been brewing for the last couple of days.
Wow, the
After J.D.
bullpen.
Davis got drilled in the ankle. Bodies start to fly. And it's this Cabrera who hit J.
What'd you say?
He said it's been brewing for the past couple of days. Somebody got hit in the ankle. So has this been like a thing where they're throwing at each other the past couple of days?
I haven't been following, so we can go back to the article after the video, but I have. I know. I like it.
J.D. Davis is right in the middle of it.
That's Pete in the middle of it.
Yohan Lopez, brand new to this team, but he knew what was going to be asked of him, and he dusted.
Didn't seem like a lot of punches were thrown.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, not to be, not to critique, but I wish it was a little bit more violent. But
Me
I get
too.
it. People get suspended and lose money and shit and lose games. Like, it's not what you really want, but
No, but I like it.
I miss when Nolan Ryan put him in like a noogie and start wailing on him and shit.
I mean, I've seen a lot of baseball players who are like, ooh, that guy does not know how to fight. Athlete or not, he doesn't know how to throw a punch.
Yeah, you start wildly flailing their
And they
arms.
do this, like, they load it and they, like, run up, I'm like, ugh. It's like, that's not going to land.
More like a smack thing.
Yeah, it's like when you'd fight in middle school.
Yeah, it's probably the last time a lot of these guys got in fights. But no, I mean, I wish there was more fighting in sports. Sports used to have a lot more I don't know if it's just that we're less masculine as a people, therefore there's less testosterone, therefore less violence. But more violence in sports, MOAR. Even though one thing I've always thought is like I don't know the context of what was going on, if it was like a team thing. Whenever someone I understand being pissed if someone throws a baseball as hard as they can at you. Those 90 plus miles per hour.
There's a tit for tat thing there. Looks like there's some punches being thrown in the middle there. Kind of. They're sort of just pushing back and forth. Looks like they're playing rugby.
Yeah.
Oh, they tackled them. Oh, they're going there. All right, they're in the back there. They're fighting.
Yeah, some punches are getting thrown.
Yeah. There's a little good violence in there.
A little bit.
It's pretty much over. Wait, what were you saying? Sorry, you said something. I had a thought about it, but now I forgot.
I was
with the pitching,
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a part of the game, to be completely honest. There's a respect thing between the batter and the pitcher, right? So it's like if you're a batter who's like crowding the plate, you know what I mean? It's like it's kind of the pitcher's duty to brush you off, to kind of so throw it a little inside to show you respect. You know what I mean? Like respect that. And then sometimes when you beam a player, especially if the one team thought it was intentional, it's kind of not tradition, but it's expected that you'll retaliate on behalf of your team. So it kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah, I do know some of that. That's what I was seeing was that was that a retaliation throw? I do know of that, but I have felt like I get it, especially on the first one. Like I get what you said about the, I've seen them buzz them at home plate, crowd the plate and everything, but it's still like Jesus, man. That baseball, I've seen the baseball hit somebody's helmet and crack it.
Oh, dude, David Wright a few years ago, he went to the hospital and he was out for months.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's bad. They updated the helmets after that because it was he got clocked. The Mets have clearly had enough of getting plunked by opposing pitchers, and tensions boiled over Wednesday afternoon after yet another Mets hitter got hit by a pitch. J.D. Davis left the game in the 8th inning after being hit in the left ankle. Oh. So I guess that was retaliation. So the guy left the game, so he had to kind of brush him off. And then because he said they started screaming, a large huddle, blah, blah. They just said they got tired of Plum, but they're not talking about the response. They're not talking about the previous thing. Wow, the Mets have been hit by pitches 19 times this season, which leads the major league. Three were hit Tuesday night. That's just last night.
That's pretty crazy. Are they crowding the plate or just no respect?
I don't know. They're Mets. Who knows? Could be bad play. Could be.
Baby.
It's all about the Mets. All about the Mets. I don't know. That's pretty wild, though.
It's pretty wild.
I was kind of hoping it'd be a little bit more, but.
Yeah, it was something in there. There was some stuff.
I like a good professional brawl. That shit's fun.
Yeah, man. I think brawling has been taken out of sports. Pussification of America. That and insurance. Because these people make millions and millions of dollars.
And you're worth millions, and you're gonna break your fist, and now you can't play.
Yeah, that's probably the real actual reason. Guys were making like 500,000. It's like, you elbow a guy in the face, fuck it. But now it's like, nah, bro, you got like a $200 million contract, and it's like that, so you're not about to drop kick somebody making that type of money.
Yeah, exactly. But and there was the famous one with Mike Piazza and what's that guy? Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Where the bat broke and Clemens threw it at him.
Yeah, man. I remember that.
Crazy, man.
That was crazy. Well, that was roid rage.
It was.
We didn't know it at the time, but it clearly fucking was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Clemens hated Piazza for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that Piazza might have been a fruitcake.
That was a huge thing. He did a press conference just to let people know that he wasn't.
I fuck a lot of pussy guys, all right? Don't you be questioning my masculinity. I have sex with women often.
That's crazy that was a story. That could never be a story in the same way that was now. That's like a perfect story that like could not happen today, where there's so many gay rumors about a guy,
Right.
and especially if he's not gay, then the woke people won't want to touch it. But if he is gay, then he has to be celebrated and pushed, and everyone who says anything about him has to be shamed. That story would have went completely haywire now.
Yeah, there wouldn't even be a story really,
Yeah.
because they wouldn't be able to cover it unless it was that there's hateful bigots attacking a proud gay man.
Yep, that's probably would have been the story. Not saying that Piazza's gay,
I
but
don't
I
know.
mean, he probably was.
I don't know. Who knows? No idea.
Yeah, you don't know.
Could just be a rumor. Did what's his name? Richard Gere have a gerbil up his ass?
Who knows?
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Peace out.
Some of
Low
those.
Spec.
Oh,
See
God.
him leaving. No, I'm just saying peace out to Low Spec. I see him leaving.
Later,
But yeah,
Spec.
some of those rumors, you're right. You never really know. You can never confirm nor deny what happened.
I love that some of those rumors, the way that they used to like travel, like before the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did that shit happen? Like, I remember when I was in high school, and it would always be some different. There's more like grammar school, middle school, but there would always be. It was always some celebrity. It was always like Britney Spears or one of the girls from Spice Girls or something. And the rumor would always be that she swallowed so much cum she had to have her stomach pumped.
Yeah, I heard that rumor about Little Kim and a few other girls. I'm like, okay, this can't be the same. After you hear it 2 or 3 million times, it's like, okay, all these bitches aren't getting their stomach pumped because of nut.
But how did that? You grew up in Michigan. I grew up in New Jersey. How, without the internet?
I didn't. Both of us hear a similar rumor.
Uh-huh.
How? I have no idea.
Did you hear that Marilyn Manson had his spine, like, or his rib removed so he could blow himself?
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, I heard that too. How did we both hear about that? I just traveled through high schools across the land.
It must have, because what other way did we have?
Shoot a Scope Barbecue, and his day was Rod Stewart.
Yeah, but I mean, rumors just used to travel like that. Just like, the Paul is dead rumor. Like, how did that go?
Oh, that was from the radio, though.
Oh, the radio station do that?
Yeah, some like DJ.
Ah,
He started the story.
okay.
Yeah, there's actually a really fascinating conspiracy behind that. So it's like the idea is that Paul died. I'm just talking about I'm not saying I'm sharing a conspiracy with you. I'm not postulating it. I'm just saying it's interesting. Maybe I shouldn't go down this road. Maybe it's like you need to be like, dry. You know what I mean? You're like an addict. You're like, no, you need to stay off. You have to lay off conspiracies. You've been 4 days sober. No, but it's really fascinating. So the conspiracy is that Paul died. I forgot somehow. And that they replaced him, like at the peak of their fame, with this guy who won a Paul, the fuck is his name? McCartney lookalike contest. And that's who's been Paul McCartney all this time.
Which is crazy.
Isn't that interesting? Let me see if I can find an article about that.
I didn't know that was where they got the guy, but I did hear the rumor that, okay, he died and they replaced him. And they didn't want to, fuck up the all the money and everything that was going. Like, man, we just got to replace this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving.
Okay, this is cool. This is interesting. So there's a Rolling Stone article. Paul McCartney is dead. The bizarre story of music's most notorious conspiracy theory. The whole phenomenon, however, accidentally shows how crazy and devoted fan love can get. I gotta log in. Oh, fuck you. I just want to read the article. I bet there's another one. Let me see what else I can find.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories, Paul is dead. Is this it? Okay. McCartney, he did Wings, never clashed with Yoko.
That's the thing. If he was dead, who made all the music after? I mean, you know what I mean?
All right, so I'll just read the Wikipedia page. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I guess this, out of all the conspiracies I do believe, the reason I always found this hard to believe, I mean, they could just be lying about who writes the songs, but the way John Lennon's songs went and the way Paul McCartney's songs went, they were totally different stylistically. So who continued to write that music for the last 3 or 4 years of the Beatles after said death? And then all the albums he did afterwards with Wings and the solo shit, some other motherfucker just happened to be also really gifted at playing music. Like, thank God he wasn't just a lookalike, or did he have a ghostwriter this whole time?
I don't know. Let's hear it. Paul is Dead is an urban legend and conspiracy theory alleging that English musician Paul McCartney of the Beatles died on 9th November 1966 and was secretly replaced by a lookalike. The rumor began circulating around 1967, but grew in popularity after being reported on an American college campuses in late 1969. The proponents based the theory on perceived clues found in Beatles songs and album covers. Clue hunting proved infectious, and within a few weeks had become an international phenomenon. According to the theory, McCartney died in a car crash, and to spare the public from grief, the surviving Beatles replaced him with the winner of the McCartney lookalike contest, sometimes identified as William Campbell or Billy Shears. Afterwards, the band left messages in their music and album artwork to communicate the truth to their fans. These include the song Glass Onion, in which Lennon sings, "Here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul." I don't know. And the cover photo of their album Abbey Road, in which McCartney is shown barefoot walking out of step with his bandmates.
Yeah, so that's the clue I've heard, the Abbey Road one.
Rumors declined after an interview with McCartney, who had been secluded from his family in Scotland, was published in Life magazine in 1969. During the 70s, the phenomenon was the subject of analysis in the fields of sociology and psychology. Paul McCartney parodied the hoax with the title of his cover 1993 live album, Paul is Live. In 2009, Times included Paul is Dead, to feature the world's most enduring conspiracy theories. It's pretty fucking interesting.
So, yeah, we're talking some other conspiracies in the chat. Senshin Dildo says plot twist. He never wrote any of the music. So,
no.
In the industry, I couldn't believe. And then the theory that the Beatles were a psyop. EMI also did work for the military. I know they're associated with.
I would believe, because I never understood the fascination.
So, there is something along them being a psyop, them being a massive psyop, and used to kind of push the culture into the more, I don't want to say liberal, but more like
commie,
more hippie, really, because they kind of they helped bring on that movement. And just
what's a hippie but a dirty commie, right? An unwashed barefoot commie.
But they did push the culture more out of conservative, everyone wore suits and everyone was yes ma'am, and then everyone afterwards were just druggies and shit, and sexual revolution, everything. Like when the Beatles started, they were everyone was the world from when the Beatles started to when the Beatles ended was totally different.
Oh my God, so much crazy. Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe in like the media being controlled and like influence and stuff like that. Like I don't want to name names, but there was a very powerful talent agency in LA that was founded by a very powerful guy who's no longer who doesn't run it anymore, but he was wildly powerful. And he I worked at an event at his house for some brunch for these chicks in entertainment or whatever, and at the guy's house were pictures of him with President Bush, I believe, at the CIA. Why?
Wow. I'm not shocked, but it's one of those things that when you hear it, it's like, oh shit.
When you actually see the picture in the guy's house, like on display, it's not like, and here he is. It's just like, this is something he's just like, yeah, I did this,
It's like no big deal.
Yeah. And I'm like, what on earth would he have to, why would an entertainment agent have to be at the CIA?
Well, there's to make sure he's doing a good job at keeping his clients in line, maybe. Maybe he's they say that some of these guys that you see and some of these gals you see are actually handlers for other people.
I believe it. I saw like I just see some weird shit in these parties, like not like event, like not like I wasn't ever, but it was just like the way people would talk to each other and just interact with each other. It was just kind of bizarre. Like I saw what's her name? What's that hot chick from Sin City?
We don't want to get whacking.
No, whatever. just listen to me. There was this. Who's that hot one from Sin City who was like cracking the whip and stuff?
Is it Jessica Alba?
Yeah, her. Yeah, and we did an event at her company for whatever product. Like she has like she's got like her own Goop. You know, she has like her own health food line. And there were these two dudes around her, man, and the way they were so fake and transparent, and they would laugh, but there was no soul behind their laughter at all. It's just it was so fake, and it was disturbing. And they kept like ushering her around. It was really weird, man.
They were the handlers. It almost seems like
they might have been. I felt like they were just like phony hangers on, but like they could have very well been. I don't know. It was bizarre. I was like, ugh, she doesn't see through these fucking creeps. It was uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable.
That's weird, man. That's weird. And didn't you say that there was like a hierarchical sort of way everything? I mean, obviously there's a hierarchy, but like you can even monitor it if you're at a party. There's certain like, oh man. Even though there's a bunch of celebrities, like this guy's the man, sort of thing.
Absolutely, DiCaprio was always at the top. Man, there's only one party where oh, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe he was at the top of the little hierarchy or whatever.
I mean, whenever I saw him, no matter like it was even at his own parties, he would still have like a hat on and sunglasses. Like he was even there, and that like he was, once in a while he'd have like his full presentation, but for the most part he would always be hiding and just kind of avoiding everybody, even in those events. The only one I ever saw where, even though there was a hierarchy, everybody was still acting kind of very polite, were these pre-Oscar parties that were for CAA, this really big talent agency. And you'd see everyone there. That's where I saw Mick Jagger at there. You'd see Liam Neeson. I saw Schwarzenegger.
Oh, man.
Yeah, at those parties, no one was really that was the only one that was like a level playing field for whatever reason. But yeah,
weird stuff, man. It's weird stuff in Hollywood. Hollywood has a kind of a weird past, even its formations. Pretty weird.
Sentient dildo. I don't believe that Jessica Alba wasn't made in a lab. She looks too perfect to be a real human. Yeah, she had no ass though.
You know what fucked me up about Jessica Alba? This goes back to
Nothing. Go on.
What fucked me up about Jessica Alba, and I don't know if it's back to rumors, back to sports ball, New York sports ball, because the one and only Derek Jeter supposedly is rumored to have given her herpes, and I heard this rumor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, don't know if it's true.
Let me Google it.
Yeah, you can Google it, because there's I don't know if it's still out there, but there was this like, and I don't know, I can't tell you which site did it. They had like a herpes chart of all the women that Derek Jeter supposedly gave herpes. I'm not sure if it's true. I would go to the Eyes Wide Shut parties, but that was the rumor. So I'm sure you can see at least something on it. I mean, it may be the rumor's false, but that was a thing.
I have no. It's just rumor.
Yeah, it's probably just a rumor. It's probably nothing verifiable, but I believed it. It messed up the mental image. I'm like, she might have herpes? Ew.
Okay, a source who worked at Jessica's assistant at the time claims they had to replenish her Valtrex prescription, a treatment for genital herpes, on a regular basis. According to website LA Rag Mag, Jeter has also dated Mariah Carey, Vanessa Minnillo, and most recently Jessica Biel. This is obviously quite old.
Yes.
That's all. It's just this one person. Wait, there's a video called "Celebrities with Herpes." Wait, what? This is so fucking weird. Hold on. It's like a 9-minute video. I can't watch it, but I kind of want to like. Wait, this chick is wild. Hold on. I got to see. This girl has she has a channel called Life with Herpes with Alexandra Harbushka. And then she had a video about celebrities with herpes. Yo, that's a mad weird thing to like make your thing.
To be like known as the herpes girl?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
She's pretty hot too.
Well, that's how it happens.
Yeah, it's true. It is how it happens.
Oh man.
That's a scary one. Herp.
Man, see again, this is why I don't want to date. I don't want to be drinking blood. Don't want to be peeing that blood either, man.
Yeah, you tell yourself all that shit.
Tell you, man, these hoes is crazy. Not saying forever, ever. But I mean,
Ever?
this is, these are jokes, but I do have like a mental thing, like, I don't want to deal with like the bullshit and the craziness.
I mean, you never want to. But it's also just kind of like, yeah, but that's just the price of dating.
Prices got steep, man. That inflation is hidden. That inflation is hidden.
That's funny. Yeah, the market's terrible right now.
Yeah, man.
All my portfolio's way down.
Yeah. Price of pussy is plummeted. The price of everything the price of pussy has gone up.
Gone up.
The quality of pussy has plummeted.
The value is real low.
Yeah, the value is low. It's just, every up is down. Cats and dogs living together. It's just crazy.
Utter hysteria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything about Avatar 2? You care about that?
We can talk about it. I never saw the first one though. I know I'm
no?
one person did.
I mean, I liked it when I saw it, but I don't know. Like, there's enough critique of it that after a while, I was like, oh, did that suck? Did I get duped by all the pretty colors?
Yeah.
It was pretty badass, though. I don't know. And it's James Cameron.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This sounds kind of lame. James Cameron's Avatar 2 debuts visually dazzling footage at CinemaCon. Gets official title. Avatar 2 is real and it's here. Naysayers be damned. After at least 7 delays in the last 8 years, the film was supposed to come out in 2014.
Sheesh.
Golly.
It's supposed to come on a different planet.
Yeah, right. James Cameron was finally ready to show audiences his otherworldly underwater vision for Avatar's long-awaited sequel, the newly titled as Avatar: The Way of Water. That's a little underwhelming of a title.
Yeah. I wonder how this movie is gonna do. That is the thing that interests me because 10 years plus in between sequels.
It's a prequel.
It was a prequel.
Set more than a decade after the... after. Oh, okay, my mistake.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's been more than a decade since. Avatar was not a beloved franchise. It was just a one-off. I mean, it was a hugely popular one-off. Mm-hmm. It was just a one-off. Does it have a fan base to support a sequel? Or was it just something that hit right at that time and you can't duplicate again? I guess that's the question that's going to be answered.
I don't know. That's an interesting question because... Like, at the time, it's the highest grossing film ever.
Yeah.
And at the time, like, people were, like, fanatical.
Endgame pass it? I thought Endgame passed it.
Still think it's Avatar.
You might be right.
Let me see.
I know there's different metrics with inflation and all that other stuff.
No, Avatar still.
Still Avatar, okay.
Not by much, by like 100 million. Not even, like 50 million.
Oh, wow.
That's close. They almost got there.
They got it close, but they didn't. No, close, but no cigar.
Almost $3 billion. He hates
money.
Avatar. It's funny.
That's a lot of money. So, I mean, you would imagine there's still a pretty big audience to revisit it, but there's been really nothing in between, has there? Maybe I'm sure there's probably some game or comic or something, but nothing big.
I don't know. I think it's going to kind of rely on like the phenomenon factor. Mm-hmm. This is a still from it that does look pretty interesting. I mean, it was very immersive. It was just so damn colorful.
Yeah.
And I guess they're riding this fish dragon.
I mean, I guess listen, like I said, I didn't actually see the first one, so I have no opinion, positively or negative on it. Mm-hmm. Like I said, my only interest is something that a franchise that hasn't been around for a decade. I mean, usually, like it was a decade-long gap between Terminator and Terminator 2, so it's not like that's unprecedented.
Was it a decade? I think it was like 6 years, but yeah, it was a fair
close,
amount.
maybe close to 8. It was like I think it's 83 and 92.
I think it's 84 and 91.
Yeah, you probably even then it's still 7-8 years. You might be right, 84 and 91.
So yeah, I think 84 and 91. Yeah.
Okay, you were right.
That's still 7 years.
7 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
But things were different back then. Like, we didn't have as much media. We didn't have as many. There wasn't video games. There weren't all these distractions. It wasn't quite the same world, you know?
Yeah.
And I think movies were much bigger in the 80s. They were a much bigger event. You know, people going to see things, including in the 90s too. Like, it was more like that's where we got our really fun media. Like, TV was kind of a secondary. It was sort of like, all right, you know, TV is cool, but movies were what we live for,
Yeah,
right?
that's the premier kind of art form and entertainment.
Yeah. Because even when you're watching TV, like when you'd find a good movie, you'd be like, oh, great.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And we would rent movies. You had like, you know, your VHS collection. So I think it was a bigger deal. So when Terminator 2 takes 7 years to come out, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now we've had, you know, probably 10 times as much entertainment between these two movies that they did between Terminator 1 and 2.
Absolutely, yeah. So much more, you know, movies, YouTube, social media, so many more things to inundate your brain with in between movies. So it'll be interesting. I can see this bombing. I can see this being massively successful because there are still that audience that still remember and still like Avatar. That, oh yeah, I'll come back for more of that.
So Collider actually has an article here about the longest gaps between film sequels. So that's pretty interesting. So starts off with Finding Dory, 13 years. That's a pretty long time. I don't think I ever saw the second one. Did you?
I did see the second one. The first one's better. But
Yeah?
The second one, yeah.
How did it do in the box office? Do you know?
I think I want to say it was successful enough. I'm not sure if it was. I don't think it probably wasn't as successful, but I'm sure it made them a boatload of money.
It made more than Finding Nemo.
Did it? Okay.
Finding Dory had a $1 billion box office.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, it was really successful.
Yeah, and Finding Nemo had a $940 million.
Yeah, Jesus. It's $2
Billion
billion between some fucking CGI fish.
I love Finding Nemo though.
Yeah.
I genuinely love Finding Nemo.
I like all those Pixar movies up until, you know, most of them are still pretty good. You know, that's one of the few divisions of Disney that does pretty good stuff for the most part.
That one movie looks terrible though. The Buzz Lightyear movie.
God, that looks so awful.
Oof, it looks
That
rough.
Like a complete misstep in every way. In
Looks
every
really bad.
way. It was just like, what are you doing? And then, I mean,
Just looks flat.
strong black woman. Okay.
Yeah, apparently there's also a gay same-sex relationship that's very overt in this one.
Who? Because there's a hard question. Do we really want to see Buzz Lightyear's story? We're used to this character as a toy, and I get he's a toy that's supposed to be a real character or something like that. But it's just like, did we need we don't need Woody's Woodhouse or whatever the shit, you know, the little TV show they had.
Right, the real cowboy story.
Yeah, we don't need that. It's like this is, you know, that was already a question to be answered, and it's like, okay.
It's a clever idea, but like that Toy Story franchise, man, it's just a money-making machine.
Yeah.
Well, there's like
you
5
never
of them or
stop
something.
going to the well. This will make the 5th one. There's been 4
Okay.
Toy Story movies, but this will be the 5th one in the extended universe, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the next longest, or whatever, Incredibles 2, 14 years.
Still have not seen the second one of that. I heard it was good though.
Better than you'd expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First one's really good to me. I have that.
Love it.
Here.
Wow, and it made a lot more than The Incredibles. It made like double.
Yeah. Jeez.
The Incredibles 1 made 631 million. Number 2 made 1.245 billion.
Jeez.
Wow. Jesus, it's a testament to Hollywood that they don't just make an Incredibles movie every year.
Right? Or just like, I mean, or a testament to Pixar for not because, you know, they could have just spammed out all these franchises. All of them could be at, you know, number 5 and have come out every year, and the quality could have waned, but they didn't do that. So, you know, shout out to them for the work they put in this franchise, in the entire Pixar franchise, because they did, you know, for the most part, hold quality first.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Because those are huge receipts to not do that. To not just say, oh, let's just spam a bunch of these. That's not what they did with the Marvel Universe or the Fast and the Furious or Transformers. They just...
Or Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park 2, yeah, and they're doing those every few years.
Every few years. And they said so Jurassic Park 3 came out in 2001, and then Jurassic World in 2015. So that was 14 years between those two.
Yeah. That was a long gap. So, yeah.
That's a long time. Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 was 17 years.
Jeez.
Damn, I didn't know that. Oh, no, Bad Boys 2 and 3, sorry.
3, yeah. Sheesh.
Wow, but even Bad Boys 1 and 2 was 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Damn.
that's a pretty long gap.
That is a long time. Oh, the Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
19 years.
There was a fourth movie.
Rambo, 20. Coming to America, 33. Oh, and Top Gun, 36.
Oh, yeah. Top Gun Maverick.
And then Bambi is 64 years. I don't think that one quite
Bambi.
counts.
No one counts Bambi 2.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
Bambi
Bambi
2.
2 existed.
Me neither, not until right now.
Exactly. Bambi 2.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, the story's over. I don't need another.
Story's over, and so is the show, actually. We've approached 2 hours. I'm really hungry. I got to go eat some food. But I think we did some good work here today, Vidge. What do you think?
I hope we did. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
I hope they're satisfied with the content, but
Yeah.
what if they're not? What if they're not satisfied? What if they need more, Vidge?
You know what they should do? If they need more, because you always want more violence, more boobs, less blood drinking, but more of everything else, go to Patreon. $5 a month. $5. Listen, I know times are tough, but that's like a price a gallon of gas, depending on where you are. That's, not even a Coca-Cola a week. That's like you can only get 2 Coca-Colas really with $5 because they're about $2 a pop and some change. So depending on, I mean, come on, man.
And how satisfying is one Coca-Cola? I mean, it's pretty good. It's not going to sustain you all month. You know what will? The Culture Crime Fighters Patreon. We put out a new episode every single week. Fresh content. There's a brand new episode that just came up. Judas Goat Barbecue says it was great. I'm sure he was talking about the Patreon. No question about that. The episode was put up today at 12. So and there's going to be another one, a bonus one this week because we didn't put up one last week. I guess not really a bonus, just more of a makeup.
Yeah.
But I'm putting up that other one that we didn't put up.
Okay.
So we have that one. But every week you can guarantee a good hour. This week we talked about male home design.
Yeah, amongst other topics.
We talked about my date that I went on.
Yeah.
And then we talked.
That was giddy. You can kind of find out why.
Yeah, maybe you could say why. And then we talked about big dicks.
Jesus. Those scare people off, man. Like, what the fuck happened?
Well, it was a topic of conversation for a little while.
Yeah, it was. Golly, the conversations breaking the plug for Patreon. We do talk some shit over on that Patreon.
It's fun.
We talk shit over on that Patreon. It is fun. It's worth at least one time. Check out a few episodes.
Just to check it out. What if you don't like it?
Well, you know what? There's something wrong with you as a human being if you don't like it.
I mean, everyone's got their own taste, but guess what? You just, you don't follow along. But if there's a possibility that you may like it, think about what you're depriving yourself of.
Yeah.
20 other episodes of the Culture Crime Fighters, which are all evergreen, by the way.
Yeah.
They're not about. It's not a topical thing. It's not like you're going to go back, and hear us talking about, Avengers or something. It's just going to be, conversation that boys have about their lives, about chicks, lots of chicks.
3 hours. That means you can go. Oh, you're damn near about to go a whole day of just us. It'd be the best day of your life.
It would be a good day, a real good day, and you'd know us a whole lot better. So go check out the Culture Crime Fighters Secret Identities on Patreon right now. Don't wait.
Stop waiting.
Stop waiting.
Stop denying yourself the greatness.
The glory.
The Culture Crime Fighters Secret
Identities. Glory. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate y'all as always. This was a lot of fun. Always is. It didn't, you know what? That's weird. The timer didn't come out today. That's my bad. Anywho, Appreciate y'all watching. And next week we're on Vidge's channel.
Yeah. All right.
All right, y'all. Have a great day.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
you